Go back to the code.
Right?
So you'll improve the, give me the control. So what you So I'm just giving in the plain simple English. I'm not writing any class code, right?
Yes.
So let's say you are a doctor, right? You're a doctor who needs a thermometer, right?
Yep.
What would be the minimum and maximum range of a thermometer for a doctor, which is a doctor of human beings?
Yes.
What should be the minimum temperature in the Fahrenheit?
The minimum should be
98, 97, maybe 96.
Yes. Yes.
And
96.
maximum should be maybe 110.
Yes.
Right. But if you are a doctor for
Animals.
Right. There are certain animals, their temperature is
a lot more than humans, or a lot less.
And lot less. So maybe the range of the thermometer, the implementation of thermometer would be slightly different, right? And maybe the temperature ranges from 35, maybe 40 degrees to maybe 200.
200, yeah, 200.
But if I'm in industry, right? So like if I'm in the industry,
okay,
right, where the temperature ranges maybe not been like, of course I do not know the real conversion, but maybe I think it should be somewhat around
minus
you're right, minus minus 200.
200, yep.
Maybe 1000.
Yes.
Right? Or maybe more.
Yep. Maybe
but if
more.
you look at it, the fundamental actions for a thermometer is set temperature.
Yep.
And read temperature or get temperature. That's right.
Yep.
These are the irrespective of the limits, right? Irrespective of the limit, you're going to have this set temperature and get temperature. So if you set the temperature which is lower than the limit of the specific thermometer, or higher than the limit, then that temperature would set an error, right?
Yes.
The set temperature would raise an error.
Yes.
Right? Or show an error, display an error, whatever it is, right? So so typically when you need 3 thermometers, assume that you are in a, so let's say if I'm a, I need a thermometer, so what I'll simply ask is, give me a thermometer and that has the limit of, we will call it, that's example T1, which is thermometer 1 is equal to new thermometer, and its limits is 96,
110.
You getting it?
Yep.
Similarly, when you say to T2 and T3,
they will equal to 40, 200 and minus 200 and 1000.
Getting it now?
Yes.
So this is how it, and of course you would have, I'm not changing the limits here, right? You're getting it, right?
Yes.
So the idea is when you have the set temperature implemented, right?
Yes.
Because you have already established the boundaries. So you'll simply say, let's assume T1 dot set temperature, right? And let's say you write 1150, right?
Yes.
Then because this thermometer already knows that my limit is somewhere, because I have stored it in my internal structures, that my minimum requirement, or maximum temperature that I support is 110. So this guy would say if whatever you have provided, like also like if temperature whatever you have given is greater than the max, whatever I have,
Yep.
or the temperature you have given is less than the minimum, right?
Yes.
Raise an alert.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Else, simply saying temperature equal to the input temperature, whatever it is.
Yes.
So that's whenever somebody asks, now you don't have to set again and again. So once you have set, you'll simply say d1.getTemp, right?
Yes.
Within the getTemp,
Yes.
you don't have to pass any parameters. This guy would simply return the temp. So that is the value of member variables. You getting it? And different thermometers would behave differently based on the values of the member variables. Getting it?
Yes.
Now, interestingly, what can happen is, I'm taking it slightly, slightly ahead than this. Let's say you have 5 different machines in the you have different machines in the organization. Right?
Yes.
And because it's an industrial, so the way it can happen is, we have machine 1, we have machine 2, we have machine 3.
Yes.
Machine 4. But you know what? These machines are designed to operate at different temperatures. So I may have this thermometer, which is a specific kind of thermometer, wherein I would say I can before I install it on a machine, right? I can actually set the limits. So when I install it on machine 1, I'll install the thermometer 1 with different limits, right?
Yep.
So maybe 10, 30. Maybe I'll install the T2 with the different limit. Maybe once again, minimum temperature this, maybe 100. Maybe I install this third one as well. But even if the limit is the same, but thermometer has to be different because this guy is reading a different machine.
Yes,
right?
It is.
Right. So this is why this is the value of these object-oriented approach, where you create multiple objects from the same class. Getting it?
Yes.
So the idea here is, when but what would you do of the temperature, right? Now, because when it comes up to a factory, right?
Yep.
Factory works on sensors and alarms, alarms, actuators, and different kind of we call them actuators, right? So this data, when the machine, so it's like you have a program which says, if machine 1 gets its temperature over, keeps on reading, maybe for 28 degrees.
Yes.
Right? Because you keep on reading it, right?
Yes.
Then turn on this bulb, whatever that bulb is, just to indicate that something is wrong somewhere, right?
Yes.
If the machine 2 gets, this is how the industrial automation works.
Yes.
Of course, this is simplified. This is very simplified way, but this is the purpose of even using the software to automate, right?
Yeah, right.
So the machine 2 gets its temperature at beyond 100, right? Switch off the machine.
Yes.
And start machine 3. Right? So that's why you need multiple. And of course, you don't have to always, but because as of now, whatever we are doing, we don't have to do multiple code generators, but I didn't have to write. We could have simply used the functions, right?
Yes.
But why I'm making you learn this is because this is ultimately where we end up going. That we will eventually, any business application, any industrial application, would require you to use judicial use of different type of objects, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is what we as engineers are supposed to do. Of course, depending on the context, the temperature is something which is relevant for some of the applications, and it may not be relevant for some other applications, right? So
Yes.
depending on the kind of applications you are building, you will have to use different kind of machines. Getting it?
Yes.
That's the whole idea. So now can you now convert this whole code with this format of constructors, and when you are having a function which is kind of public function, now there's another concept of public and private functions, right?
Yes.
Technically speaking, only this function has to be public.
Yes. The other one doesn't.
Rest of the functions, and even this, I think it's public, and it has to be public.
Oh, okay.
Rest of the functions has to be private, because they should not be, we should not be able to call them from outside. That's none of our business,
Yes.
right? That's how
Yes.
it works. Even these three things has to be private. I'm sure by default it is private, but this is something that you need to understand from Java. What does private Java does? I think by default
Yes.
it is not private in Java. It's so you'll have to do something like that, right?
Yep.
Are you comfortable with what I have told you today?
Yes.
Good. So this is a profound this is an important piece of knowledge which most of the people fail to understand about object orientation. They just get confused and they wrap things around. But the real concept of object orientation is this. This, of course, this is one of the idea, one of the concept. There are many concepts which are built on top of it. Got it?
Yep. Got it.
Okay. Any other problems? Any
No.
questions? Perfect. Then carry on, and once you're done, we'll take it forward. Okay.
Okay.
If the code is completed, we'll take a quick look at the code and review, and then
Yep.
we'll ask you to have you been able to upload the code to GitHub?
Yes, I have.
Perfect. So once you're done, you need to once you write the code, you need to upload the code to GitHub when it has started working, and share the GitHub link with us. The group. All right.
Okay.
We'll take a look at the code and we'll see if we need to help you improve the code further. Okay. Then
Yes.
next step would be we'll make this code uh, get converted into a library, right? And we'll help you use the libraries, and that's you're going to be then very soon moving into the uh, advanced stages of software development, where you'll be getting the capability to use external libraries to create amazing things.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll end up developing a web application using this foundational library. Of course, the idea is to give you the whole the taste of the whole cycle, and post that we'll start moving on to the real applications.
Okay.
Done?
Done.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.